Hi, welcome. I'm starting a new book this week. It's a popular one that I've seen so many people recommend. The book is Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I first saw the book several months ago at Beacon Hill bookstore, but didn't buy it at the time. So finally, we meet again. About the author Dolly Alderton. Um, she's an award-winning author and journalist. She's a columnist for the Sunday Times Style and has also written for GQ Right. Blah blah blah. From 2017 to 2020, she co-hosted the weekly pop culture and current affairs podcast, The High Low, alongside someone. Okay. She seems like an interesting and insightful writer. You might know her first book, Everything I Know About Love. I'm sure some of you have read it. She also wrote Ghosts, which has a similar cover to Good Material. But for now, I've decided to start with Good Material. Lately, I've been reading a bit slowly. I usually read during my commute. And while sometimes I have free time between classes, I don't always use it consciously for reading. So from this week, I'm going to try to make a daily to-do list for the next day and track my reading progress and other activities. Hopefully, this may help me read more effectively. But I also want to say, reading isn't about how many pages you get through or how fast you read. It's about enjoying the process. I hope everyone who watching this can enjoy their own reading journey and let books enrich your life and expand your world. Today is Monday and it's a holiday, so I don't have any classes. So I'm going to start reading good material. Just want to show you this. The book's content is presented in a journal style format. It's interesting. Hi, it's the same day, and it's so cold here in Boston, so I just put on my jacket to stay warm. I ended up doing a little online shopping, and now I'm on page 23 of the book, Good Material. I read Dolly Alderton's first book, Everything I Know About Love, many years ago. Good Material feels like it has a similar writing style, witty, humorous, and cool. You can tell the author has a lot of experience with relationships and a colorful life. She comes across as that effortlessly cool girl who is also insightful and sharp. At the beginning of Good Material, there is a list of reasons not to stay with Jan, the main character, Andy's girlfriend. They have broken up, and Jan's therapist suggested writing a list of reasons why it's good they are no longer together. She told Andy to do the same, but to me, Andy's list doesn't feel that convincing. Like, are those reasons really enough to justify the breakup? You can tell Andy is still in love with Jan. The story is narrated from his perspective, which I found interesting since it's a man reflecting on a breakup, which isn't the most common angle. I'm still at the very beginning of the book, but I think it's structured like a journal with Andy recollecting his time with Jen. That's it. That's what I want to share about the book. I will keep reading. I just made a plan for tomorrow. From 9 to 10 a.m. is my commute to school. I will continue reading good material during this period. From 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I will be at school and will have 1.5 hour free time. So I plan to keep reading. I've already finished my assignment during the weekend. So I plan to use this time to continue reading. I find it is easier to read in longer uninterrupted blocks. Also, morning are better for reading since my brain is fresher. And from 11:50 to 1:30 is my class time. After that, from 11:30 to 4 p.m., I will study at school. I will work on some new assignments and probably will read a little bit. From 4 to 5:30, commute back home. I will read again during the subway and train ride. And after that, in the evening, I will relax and probably read a little before sleep. So that's the plan for tomorrow. I hope I can get a lot of reading done. I will check back in with an update on my progress later. This is Wednesday. I'm on page 105, 29% of the book. Good material. The book follows Andy, the main character, as he deals with life after breaking up with his ex, Jan. The writing is humorous, but it also captures how painful and emotionally draining a breakup can be, especially when it's someone you truly love. The feelings Andy goes through feel very real and relatable. It shows how hard it is to forget someone and how time is the only real healer. You can really feel how much Andy struggles emotionally during this period. And Andy comes across as a sensitive person. Personally, I've often thought women tend to be more emotionally expressive than men. But Andy is an exception. He cries over the breakup, overthinks even small things, and is constantly caught up in his thoughts. There is a lot of internal reflection going on. Although the topic is sad, the book reads almost like a comedy series at times, thanks to the author's use of humor. For example, Andy says that he hates Boris Johnson, not because of politics, but because Boris was the first prime minister during Andy's adult life and has more hair than him. It's little jokes like that add a lighter tone to the story. I'm curious to see where the story goes, whether Andy eventually moves on and grows from the experience, or if something totally unexpected happens. I will definitely keep reading, but first I need to finish my assignment. Bye. This is Friday. I'm on page 221, 61% of the book Good Material by Dolly Alderton. The main character Andy is now in the second phase of his breakup. He's starting to meet other women. Before this, he was constantly thinking about his ex-girlfriend. He has a close group of friends he often drinks with, and they are trying to support him, but most of them have families, kids, or are just busy with their own lives. I feel like they are helping him on the surface, but not in a deeply meaningful way. Sometimes even after talking with them, Andy doesn't seem to feel much better. On one hand, that might be because friends can't or aren't always willing to give you all their energy. There can even be a bit of jealousy in friendships. On the other hand, maybe it's just true that healing has to come from within. Now Andy is starting to meet a woman, Sophie, and I'm curious to see what happens next. The book is very light. You don't need to think too hard while reading it. I've been reading it like a fan TV series. Okay, I will keep reading. I just finished reading Good Material by Dolly Alderton. Basically, the book follows Andy's life after a tough breakup, from dealing with his eccentric old landlord Morris, to drunkenness with his friends, to a party at his friend Avi's house, and more. I think the most important lesson Andy learns from the breakup is that he needs to take care of himself. One moment stood out to me was something his mother said. Getting dumped is never really about getting dumped. It's about every rejection you have ever experienced in your entire life. This is so true. There is also a scene near the end where Andy is performing in a new show. He sees Jen in the audience. Their eyes meet. It's a quiet but powerful moment. I would say that the ending is unexpected, and I will leave it for you to explore. To be honest, this isn't my favorite book, but it's a light, enjoyable read, and I'm glad I picked it up. That's it. I hope you have a great day and happy reading. I will see you in the next one.